Hello. Hello. This one says I want pets. Hello. Oh my goodness. Big pets. Hello.
Sorry.
Bamboo forest.
Safe on everybody.
You're really close to my face.
Hey guys, what's up? It goes far away, see? I wish I didn't have socks on. Hey vlog, what's up? What's poppin'?
Always have to be on guard. Such as giant Amazon river otters, green anacondas, and most notoriously jaguars. Now, as I bring her around, she's a little bit over 5 years old, and she won't be full grown until she's about 15. And whenever she's full grown, she'll only be about 5 feet, about 40 pounds because she's a female. She's only about 20% of owners keep them into adulthood. Most people get these guys thinking, oh, I'm going to get a little dog-sized crocodile to run around my house. And then it gets dog-sized and does crocodile things, and they don't like it anymore. And if we was to leave her alone, I would say for even just a few weeks, and she would probably start biting again, because their natural instincts will start to come back. It's really just about how used to people they are, how concurrent in their lives you are. These guys have really cool scales all down their back. These can get up to 2 inches thick and can actually protect them against fully grown jaguar bites as an adult.
Jump at the turtle? Or not the turtle,
And everybody growing up always hears the difference between crocodiles and alligators is the shape of their mouth. But even though these guys do have a crocodile-style mouth, they're actually more closely related to alligators. So the best way you can always differentiate a caiman from a crocodile or alligator is caimans always have these very predominant, stop looking at me, look at them, a very predominant eye crest on top of their eyes, making them look very, very prehistoric. And they have much more of a curvature up to the nose, while a crocodile will have an almost completely flat head. Now, do you guys have any questions about South American dwarf caimans?
What does he eat?
So in the wild, they'll eat fish. Other caimans are highly, highly cannibalistic. Capybaras, which are the world's largest rodent. But here in captivity, we feed them mice. We feed them dead mice, so we don't feed any sort of live prey to any of our reptiles, just so they never affiliate movement with something to bite. Now, they don't go for prey that's a lot bigger than they are, because these guys don't death roll like other crocodilians do. Because what other crocodilians will do is when they're rolling, they're just throwing their body weight around to rip off whatever body part or piece of meat that they're latched onto. Because they only weigh about 50 pounds, these guys actually would just lose the grip of their teeth or start breaking off their teeth if they tried to do it. This is Clyde. Clyde is an Australian Woma python. Australian Woma pythons are one of the largest terrestrial non-venomous snakes native to Australia. We have 4 of them here at the zoo. We have a juvenile pair and an adult pair named Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde here being 5.5 feet out of his max size of 6 feet, and Bonnie, our female, being 6.5 feet out of her max size of 7 feet. Now, these guys are actually a very slow ambush predator, only moving between 1 and 2 miles per hour above the ground. So very slow, very easy to catch. But they're Australia's only native burrowing snake. And so because of this, they have one of the most specialized forms of ambush of any species of snake in the world. So what they'll do is they'll bury their entire body inside of the burrow, except the tip of their head and then the tip of their tail. They possess what's called a prehensile tail, meaning that they can use it like an appendage, like we can use our finger or hands. So it can move it any which way that it wants, and it'll twirl it around right at the top of the sand. Now, if you saw this twirling around on top of the sand with nothing else around it, what do you think it'd be? Worm, absolutely right. So their tail is made to imitate a prey item. They'll lure in prey such as birds, lizards, and even venomous snakes. Because these guys have an actual antibody in their bloodstream that'll break up the venom of any of the venomous snakes in their natural environment that will hunt them or try to kill them, making them one of the big controllers of the venomous snake population in Australia. It is limited to only venomous snakes from the Australian continent. Now, he ain't gonna bite you, and even if he did, he doesn't have any teeth. Only the two largest species of pythons, Burmese and reticulated pythons, possess teeth. Loves interacting with people, but that's just because he realized a very long time ago that our warm-blooded bodies are a lot warmer than his cold-blooded body. So he kind of looks at us like a moving heater. He likes to wrap around us and stay warm. In fact, in the wintertime, to keep him warm while moving between shows, instead of putting him in the snake bag, I'll actually just wrap him around my neck and he'll wrap around from head to tail. It kind of freaks people out because they think he's choking me out, but no, he's just staying warm. Yeah, after I get some questions, I get everybody an opportunity to get some pictures with them.
Awesome.
These guys only don't possess anything in their mouth besides gums. They actually have just really strong muscles on the side of their head, and that's how they hold their prey in place. So, you know, when you get bit by one of these guys, which I haven't ever been bit by any of the adults, that's how tame they are, in all the hours and hours that I've handled them. The adults have never bit me, but the juveniles, before they realize what's food and what's not food, bite a lot during feeding time. So what it feels like is it just feels like a 2-year-old pinching you. And it just feels real quick, and then they either release or they don't. And then you got a snake on you for a few minutes until it decides to. You can't be very forceful with them because you actually hurt them if you try to force them off. Because they'll tear those muscles on the side of their face. These guys are an endangered species, so they are expensive if you want to go out and get one. They're about $1,200 for a baby. Their numbers were actually below 6,000 individuals before they were legalized to own privately about 5 years ago. And since they did that, their numbers have actually risen to over 16,000 individuals, allowing over 2,000 of these guys to be re-released into the wild. And the reason they were endangered in the first place is because all throughout the 1800s, a big export of Australia was sand python products. So because they were so slow and easy to catch, within just about 50 years, they were almost completely wiped out of Australia. And they also have started to help with all the venomous snake problems in Australia. I'm sure all of you guys hear about all the deadly snakes that are there. Well, there used to be a lot less of them because there were a lot more non-venomous snakes around to keep their numbers in check.
What's the lifespan on them again?
So these guys live up to about 25 years. They're full grown at about 10 years old. He's nearing his full size at 9 years old right now. And so they're very long commitment for a pet. Maybe not as long as Squirt with being 60 years, but for a snake, there's a lot of snakes that live a lot shorter than these guys. Have a great day.
Come here, sweet, sweet camel.